Alright guys, so welcome back. So we're going to analyse the chipping technique of Cheyenne Woods. So I believe Cheyenne Woods is the niece of Tiger. So let's have a look to see the way she sets up to it and the way she moves through the ball. So first of all, we have a look at her setup. So we can see here that her face is a little bit open. Okay, so her face is a little bit open, the hands are a little bit forward, and the ball position is just a little back in the stance. Okay, so I like to really teach on having the ball right in the center of the stance. Her feet are really narrow, as you can see there as well. So it's very typical for a short shot to have the stance quite narrow for a short shot. All right, so she has the ball position kind of just a little bit back of center. She has the face open, and what you'll see here that the face being open, you see a lot of players do that because it allows them to use the bounce of the club through the ball. It means that it doesn't dig into the surface too much. You see a lot of people start to open the face up just so it just kind of bruises the turf rather than digging in. The hands are just a little bit forward of the club head, okay? And that's good. I don't like to see the hands getting too far ahead of the club head. All right, so now also with weight distribution, you can see here that she's just got a little bit of weight on the left side. Okay, so a little bit weight on the left foot. Not a lot of weight, and it's also what I advocate to is not to have too much weight on that left foot. You want to have ideally around 55 to 60% on that left foot, because again, you want to avoid taking the club up too steeply, and the more you have the weight on the front foot, and particularly if the ball position's too far back, you tend to take the club up quite steeply. And that's what we're trying to avoid with chipping and pitching, is that we like to just kind of bruise the turf rather than digging into the ground. Not to say you can't hit a good shot by having a lot of weight there and everything, but it just means that your hand-eye has to be that much better. All right, so you can see that Cheyenne has a little bit of weight on her front foot. Now we're just going to watch to see how the weight functions during the swing. All right, so we're going to look at her head too. All right, so as she takes the club back. All right, so you can see here that her torso is turning. The hips are just turning a little bit, not a lot of hip turn. So the club head is moving first, and then the hips will start to turn just a little bit, not a lot of turn. Okay, we don't need too much turn in chipping or pitching, but there does need to be a little bit of turn, just so the arms and the body can work together really well. Okay, so just a little bit of turn. The head is very stable. All right, now she's going to come back through. Head just kind of gets just a little bit in front. So you can see here, as she comes back down, the weight is starting to move onto the left side. Okay, so you can see there's a little bit of a change now onto the left foot. All right, now she's rotating the body through. All right, yeah, so basically she doesn't have a lot of weight on her left foot. She just has that little bit of weight forward, okay? And it's good to not have the weight too far forward because it just means that, again, we're not going to dig into the ground too much. And through. So it's a very simple action, this one. Very simple action. Okay, and what you can see here is that what she does very well is she has the same length backswing. So she stops about there, just before hip height. Let's see where she comes through to. And she probably comes through a fraction further than her backswing, which people like to err on the side of doing that because it just means that you're not slowing down. You're making sure that the club is still moving through. And you can see that she's turning her body and she shifts just a little bit of weight on her left foot. And you can see there's barely any mark on the grass. So she's basically used the angle really well through the ball. She's not digging into the surface. And that's the beauty of having the face just that little bit open. And as she stops here. All right, so very simple technique. All right, so let's tune in next time. And I'll go over some more Tour Pro swings. Thank you very much.